2 billion rands disappeared inside Ekurhuleni. No robbery, no break-in, no arrests, and the officials who followed the money were unalived. This is not a municipality. This is a crime scene. My name is Alokwane, and these are the news that matter the most. Now, Ekurhuleni is not a small town. It is one of South Africa's biggest metros. It is also a home to OR Tambo International Airport, and it should be an economic engine. Instead, it has become a case study of how city collapses from the inside. Ekurhuleni is also an ANC-run municipality that is drowning in fraud, mismanagement of funds, and corruption. Now, this is not political gossip. These are findings from auditors, investigators, Parliament, and the city's own records. Now, between 2020 and 2024, investigators uncovered something shocking. About 2 billion rands simply disappeared from Ekurhuleni's billing system. It was not stolen with guns. It was not robbed in cash vans. It vanished through manipulated accounts. Now, officials allegedly deleted municipality debts for certain properties, especially those that were sold on auction. Now, rates and service charges were wiped clean. No payments were made and no alarms went off. This was not a mistake. This was a system. Now, when a senior official raised the alarm, he was suspended. And then something even darker happened. The city's head of forensic units, the man investigating corruption, he ended up being assassinated. A municipal official was unalived for following the money. Now, this is no longer just corruption. This is a criminal capture. And the Auditor General has warned us, year after year, Ekurhuleni briefly received a clean audit, but it didn't last long. By 2023 to 2024, the city was back in trouble. Irregular expenditure, wasteful spendings, poor financial controls, and weak oversight. Basically, money is being spent badly, illegally, and not tracked at all. At the same time, billions that were meant for infrastructure were not spent, while communities sat without proper roads, water, and electricity. And perhaps the most painful failure is how money meant for the poor was handled. A grants program meant to uplift communities was expanded rapidly, but investigations showed poor monitoring, political connections, and no proof that some projects even happened. And that was money meant for poverty relief. It ended up being a political feeding scheme. And while this was happening, desperate families were being extorted by housing officials, asked to pay bribes just to keep a roof over their heads. Ekurhuleni's problem is not just a few corrupt people. It is a system that protects comrades instead of citizens. It's a system that punishes whistleblowers instead of criminals. And it's also a system that appoints loyalty instead of competency. And Auditor General Tsakani Maluleke told Parliament something very simple. If officials face no consequences, corruption becomes normal. And in Ekurhuleni, consequences are rare. This is why the same problems repeat. This is why services collapse. This is why public trust is gone. Now, the cost is not just billions of rands. The cost is broken infrastructure, dirty streets, power failures, unsafe communities, and unpaid suppliers losing jobs. Corruption steals time, dignity, and opportunity. So what must change in Ekurhuleni? First, there has to be consequences. If you steal public money, you must lose your job and your freedom. And secondly, they have to protect whistleblowers. No one should fear death for telling the truth. They must also put an end to cadre deployment, and they must also introduce radical transparency where every tender, every contract, every payment must be public. And finally, voters must act. Now, if leaders fail, they must be replaced. Democracy is not a logo. It is accountability. Now, Ekurhuleni is not broken because it is poor. It is broken because it is mismanaged. It is not failing by accident, it is failing by design. The question is no longer what went wrong, as the evidence is clear. The real question is, how many more billions must disappear before South Africans say enough is enough? What are your thoughts?